All right. Now with the third part to our covalent bonds for eighth grade science remote learning, we just got a few examples to go through. So as we said, using this NASL method, basically it's figuring out how many bonds. First one, figure out the chemical structure basically of this formula. And we said if you're going to make a molecule, pick the one that has a single element, put it in the center. Well, guess what? Oxygen's a single element. There's two hydrogens. So I'm going to put O in the middle, and I'm going to put a hydrogen around it. Doesn't matter where I put it, top, bottom, left, right, as long as there's only two hydrogen and one oxygen. Then to figure out how many bonds there are going to be, I need to figure out how many valence electrons it wants. Okay, that's the needs. How many does it need? Oxygen needs 8 to be happy. Hydrogens need 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12. 12 minus how many are actually available? Well, guess what? Oxygen only has 6, and that's because it's in group 6A. As we learned last week, it's got 6 valence electrons. Hydrogen only has 1 valence electron because it's in group 1. So when we look at 1 times 2 is 2, plus 6 is 8. Okay? And then I'm going to take 12 minus 8 is 4. Divide that by 2 because all bonds are shared as a pair of electrons. That gives me 2. So there's 2 bonds. Well, oxygen bonds 1 hydrogen on one side, 1 hydrogen on the other. So you just put lines for those. And then I've got to finish putting the dots. The last part is those lone pairs. Well, hydrogen's already happy. You never put more than just a line in for it. But oxygen, if it only has the 2 lines, that's only 4 of the 8 valence electrons it needs. So you got to put 2 dots on the other 2 sides. So 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then 2 top, 2 bottom, and then have the hydrogens on the side. Or you could put the hydrogens top and bottom and have the 2 dots on either side. There's a good enough picture. That's called a Lewis structure. Same thing for carbon. It's a single atom. We're going to put carbon there, and I'm going to put 4 fluorines around it. Math is a little higher here. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 4 is 36. And then how many does it actually have? Fluorine is in group 7, so it has 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 4 is 32. So if we go 32 and 4 was 36, and we subtract that from what it actually has, we end up getting 8. I didn't do that. You'll have a calculator write it down, makes it a little bit easier. 8 divided by 2 is 4 bonds, which makes up the 4 electrons or the 4 lines we put around carbon. Carbon's happy because it's got 4 shared electrons around it. 4 times 2 is 8. Fluorine, I would have to put, other than the 2 that's being shared, I'd have to put 2 dots on the other 3 sides to get 6 other valence electrons. Now, I included a lot of extra stuff on this one, like videos on somebody doing it, examples, PowerPoints, websites to look at. It's a little more confusing, especially it's pretty hard when we're not face-to-face and I can't sit there and just show you and write it down. But coming up with the basic structure, Lewis structure, eventually goes on into chemistry and doing a lot for us. Figure out the shape, type of hybrids that form, all types of things that are going to come from it, whether it's polar or non-polar, what it's going to dissolve in. All those things come from being able to draw its Lewis structure. So that's all we wanted to start with 8th grade science is just get a simple, let's be able to draw a simple structure of what it looks like. Any questions, make sure you email me, mark.boer@addisonschools.us. Be sure to look at everything that I included as extras to try and help you out. And like I said, hopefully you're able to fly through it and finish up this last online week. And as far as assignments, and we'll see you next week.